Okay, so after the object overview, like we have seen what is an object, what are the fields and their type. So for example, I'm taking the account one, and we have discussed, some brief about it, all this. So today I'm just going to, explore few very important things, and like validation rule. So I'm going to discuss in depth of this and few of the other important things like page layout, uh, or like that. So let me take this validation rule. So validation rule is something like, for example, let me open this. See. So here we can see we have a lot of tabs which is related to sales. I'm taking the account object, account tab, and we created this last week. Okay, so we have all the detail here of this account. So suppose if you want to restrict some value, so for example, uh, phone number. So I want to restrict a validation here. I want to validate something here, like the number should not be less than 10 digit basically. So that's the standard number of digit for a phone number. So it should not be less than that. So for example, if a user right now, if you go and enter like to, and just if you save it, it will let you save. So based on certain, country or something, it may be invalid. So for example, uh, in our country we have 10 digit mobile number, so I want to restrict that. So whenever user enter less than 10 digit, it should throw error like number should not be less than 10 digit. So like that we can, give a lot of restrictions whenever it is in business need in our application. We can do such things. So for example, anything else, for example, in type, if I want to have only, prospect, I don't want to, users to select any of it, so we can put a validation rule. So if they select like I have written up for prospect, I want to allow only prospect. So the application let the user save only prospect. But if user select customer direct, I can throw an error like customer direct cannot be selected. So we can do such kind of restrictions to our record for any of the object. So let's see how are we going to achieve that. So this is, happens through validation rule. So here already we know the object manager. In the object manager we have account object, and for the account object, so I'm writing this validation for this particular object. So I'm going to the validation rule here. So right now this is a fresh org. I don't have any validation rule right now. So I'm going to create here one rule. So we can restrict. Okay, let's take the same example here, like phone number. Let's allow that uh, number should not be less than 10 digit. So just click new, and this is also called out of the box functionality. Whatever the logic that whenever we are not writing any code, effects classes or customization anything, then this is also called out of the box functionalities. So it is loading, and the same thing you can also find on the classic as well. So for example, if you want to switch to classic, you can simply click on this, and if you go to the account, so I can show you one a very useful thing. On the classic you can find the right side. If you click on this, you can directly write, like you can view the fields, object, record type, validation rule, all that. So for example, I'm on the account object, and I'm going to click on the validation rule. Okay, so here we can see the validation rule. On the lightning side it is loading yet, not sure why it is a bit slow. Okay, so we can see it is the same thing, I mean, on the classic as well. So once you click on the validation rule, you just click on new. You can give any name. So for example, uh, we will discuss about the naming conventions, how we have to give a name. So right now I'm just giving a generic name, but there are, certain rules how to define name. Because why naming convention is very important, because some of the time, for example, you're writing in a validation rule, and maybe after 1 or 2 years you left the company, some other developer comes. So he must be, by seeing the name itself, he must be knowing that, okay, this rule is for this purpose. And based on the project needs, or based on the, for example, if there are different reasons like APAC, EME or something, so they can add something on this. So that we will discuss at the later stage, but right, I'm just giving you a hint on that, so that you can be aware of that. So for example, I can give a like phone number restriction. And description you can give, it's always a good practice to give description. So you can give validating mobile number to 10 digits. Like we can say like mobile number should not be okay. Okay. And so by the description, the other developer can understand why it is for, why this validation has been written for. So if we come to this section, because this is the section where we write, our logic basically, and we will discuss about this after this. Here right side we can see there are standard functions basically. So like if you want to, search for the date and time, you can simply click on the date and time, and you can see all the, date related uh, functions here, which are basically standard functions. For example, date, if you want to, want to date, you can select this one. Like that we have number of, functions. For example, if you need a today, what is the date for the today, you can just simply click on this, and you can then get the date. And if you want to get the year from a date, you can define a year here. So like that, we have standard functions. Then logical we have, and if is clone. So there are a lot of things that we can do with the validation rule here. And we have math. So like all these are math related functions. And text, like for example length. So right now we are going to use this length function, basically because we are going to restrict to 10 digit. A mobile number should not be less than 10 digit. So we need basically a length of that object field. So I'm going to use this one right now. But there are a number of other, functions, basically standard, like value, upper, trim. So trim is basically like, it will remove the spaces from the text. So maybe you can go through all, but I will use few of it so that I can explain you how to use it. So if you click on this, for example, if you click upper, so you can see the hint from here, like converts all the letter in the value to the upper cases. And if you need more information, you can simply click on this, so it will take you to the Salesforce help page. and and it will give you brief or detailed description about all these functions. So right now I'm going to work restrict to 10 digit. So let me hide this field here. Okay, so phone number should be 10 digit. So we can use this field on our validation, right? So we can simply click on this. Okay, there is another one way to, go to validation rule that I want to show you first before I start writing this. So simply you can click the object. You can click on the object, and these are your custom object, which you can see here, which we have created. So if you want to write any validation rule for the custom object, simply you can go here by searching object, or if it's a standard, you can simply write a name, account. So I was working on the account, so I can see here account field, account object, and here I have here should be a validation rule here. So once you click on this, you can go on the same screen. So there are two ways that I have shown you how you can go to that page. So okay, now as I said, I'm going to use length function, because I want to calculate the length of that particular text box. So here, so basically this is standard length, and text is basically where I need to give that particular field name. So here we have a phone, so it must be phone. So here you can click on the insert field, and we are on the account object, and if we come here, we can simply type phone. So here comes the phone, and insert it. Let me remove all this spaces, and if I can give simply or you can simply click on here, and you can select the operators here. So I'm just taking if it is less than 10, right? So if you click on the less than, you can click here. So okay, so I'm saying like if my phone number is less than 10, then we can pop up a message here. So whenever the length of the phone number will be less than 10, the user will get a message here. So like I can type here like phone number cannot be less than 10 digits. Okay, so and there is error location, basically where I want to show the error. So whether I want to show the error on the top, or whether I want to show the error on the field itself, basically here itself. So let's see that. So I'm just giving on the top of the page, and let's save it. And there is a one thing which is called check syntax. So maybe before saving this validation rule, you can simply click on the check syntax. So it will give you if there are any error. So I don't have any error, so it is giving me like no error found. Or else even if you click on the save button, and if there is any error, it will give you that error. Okay, so let me save this, and now let's go and refresh this, and just double click on this. Okay, it's not enabled. Okay, okay, now let's save this value again. Can you see like I'm getting this error, phone number cannot be less than 10 digit on the top of the page, because we have given here on the top of the page. Now let me just edit this, and let me select on the field. So when I will select on the field, we have to give the correct field name here on which field. So basically it was a phone, so I'm just going to click on the phone. Okay, so now let's just save this. So you can see the first when I gave on the top, it was the error was displaying here, but when I have given on the field, it is giving on the field itself. So this is the use of validation rule. We can write few other logic as well. For example, okay, let me remove this, and let me save this now. Phone number. Okay, so in fact when our data is blank as well, so it's considering that as well. But in case if we want to check any blank value, so we have another functions, basically like let's take some text one, some of the like is blank, which is a very useful functions which I want to explain you. Okay, so like is blank. Okay, so these are few very important functions like is blank, right? So for example, if I don't want, I want, this value should not be blank. Okay, so I can, okay, let me take some other field as well. Let me create another one, validation. So, let me just cancel this and give you one more example of validation rule. So I'll just click on this and I will create one more validation rule. And on this validation rule, what I will say, uh, okay, or some field we can say here. Okay, let's take this fax number. Right? So I want to say like my fax number should not be blank. So there are other way to make it mandatory, but this is also one of the way which we are discussing. So there are more than one way to make it mandatory field. So I just want to make like uh, fax fax validation. Simply I'm just giving one name, and you can give the description as you want. And here I just want to insert this function which is called is blank. And so is blank is basically it will check like whether the field is blank or not, whether we have any value or we do not have any value. So if you check the description here, it says checks whether an expression is blank and returns true or false. So if expression is true, blank, then it will return you true or it will return you false. Okay, so let me take the field called facts. Okay, so I have said like uh, is blank. If the facts is blank, then it will throw an error like should not be. Okay, so let's check the syntax. Okay, and if you want to, again, if you want any help for is blank, you can okay, we have already opened this page, so let's have some look on that. So in future if you want to go through this, you can simply click on this is blank. So okay, okay, so if you type here, you can see here is blank, which is give you the good example here to understand more detail. So for example, it says like this: determine if an expression has a value and returns true. If it does not, it contains a value. This function returns false. Okay, okay, so it says if it contains a value, this function returns false. Okay, so okay, so let's go here and save this. And now just refresh this. You can edit this record and save this. Okay, Okay, so here you can see we got a message like facts should not be blank. So this is the way, you know, we can restrict any field so that user should not enter a wrong value, or you know, if user should not. So there are a lot of complex things as well on the validation. Maybe on the business scenario you can get a lot of complex things on this, and so we have to use this way only, and we can refer all the fields. So basically I'm going to discuss on the insert field. So if you see the insert field here, so I was writing validation rule on account object here. So I can see all the object, all the fields related to that account. All the fields are displaying here. You can see all the fields here. And one more thing you might have noticed, if you click on the account owner, this is basically a field on account object, but still when I click on that I can see few new list of fields. Is because account owner is nothing but it's a connected with account. So this is account owner is a different object which is connected with account, with any relationship. That is the reason, you know, we can see all these fields. So relatively these are the standard or global object we can see, like object type, or and this is organization related details, or this is a profile related details, system related things. So this is basically which start with dollar. You know, these are standard object which we will look in our upcoming session, like what is the profiles, then system on this, users, user role, what all this. So these are the related and global things. So we can, you know, access fields from the global object as well on our validation rule. So this is all about
Dinesh, can you go to, sorry, can you go to again account where we were looking at this, that drop down?
okay, you're on the insert field.
Yeah, insert field, account object.
This one, right?
Yeah, in that there is account owner, right? Where you have got an arrow, and against that there are so many fields. So this I didn't get exactly. What does it mean? Account to account owner.
Yes.
What sort of relationship is there? I mean, why it
So
is not coming for others and why it is coming for this?
yes. So actually, we will discuss that in detail when we will discuss about the relationship. But just for
Okay.
understanding purpose, let's go here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just going to this data. So here you can see there is a field called account owner, right? And this account owner you cannot type here. Even if you edit this, just you can see this is not an editable one,
Yeah.
right? So this is basically, suppose my org name is SFDC Force. So this will, and I'm creating this account, so account owner will be updated automatically from my user. So for example, if you are creating from your account, okay, so that account owner will be updated automatically. So every record in Salesforce should have an account owner. Without account owner you will not find any record. So someone will be responsible for that record, right? So when I just let me cancel this here, and okay, now if you want to change the account owner here, okay, this is nothing, this is something actually relation with related with user object basically, right? So if I want to change to somebody else here, I can simply go here. I can see something called Harish Reddy. There is one account.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't have, I think, any other owner. Okay, I can check that by going on the setup.
So basically, we can change the account owner. That's what it is
Yes.
saying. But
So I have right now one user, and okay, there is a techie Foosh.
84. Yeah.
Or is that default one, I guess? Okay. Is a custom user profile. Maybe this user may not have access to this one, so we are not able to see that. So basically, you know, this is a lookup relationship, or must, I mean, there should be any relationship between this. Okay, where is that record?
I think when we look
Okay.
at different types of
So
relationship,
yes,
can go
yes,
into detail.
exactly. So that way I will explain you. So basically, here what we need to understand is we can access account record as well as their related objects field we can access.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Yeah.
account owner was connected with account, so we can use even account
Mm.
owner's detail. So if we go
Okay.
here on the account, we can see there is a contact object,
Yeah.
right? So with the account owner, contact is connected, so we can use the contact object as well. And again, if we go, contact is connected with account, so we can see all their account or all their fields again, right? Okay.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
yeah, they are somehow connected with each other. That is the reason we are able to see all that detail. And we will have it.
Right.
We will be discussing that in detail when I will discuss about the relationship. And but just to give you overview, so that in future if you want to access related fields, so you can go click here, and suppose this is account owner city I'm taking. So you can simply click on that. So you will see owner dot city. But before that, what I got, suppose if I want to insert account field, it just give me account name, sorry, just name,
Mm.
because this is the
Yeah.
API name. But when I click
Mm.
on city of owner, right, so it's giving me owner dot city. Likewise, if you click on owner, then contact, and then let me take assistant, enter this.
Mm-hmm.
So you will say you will see owner
Okay.
dot contact dot assistant's name. So this is the way actually it will go ahead from parent to
Okay.
child, and then child, grandchild, like that.
Mm.
So when you are here itself, you don't have to or if you're on the same object, you don't have to give anything, or like object name, you don't need to give object name. But when you go on next level, then, or deeper, more deeper, then you have to give this way, the object name, then other object name, and then the field name, right? Okay. So this was the validation rule all about. And now there is another after validation, there is another concept called page layout. And this is also a very important concept. So let's understand this. What is page layout? Okay. So page layout basically, it's like a container, right? So we can understand this way. So this is basically a container for the fields. So for example, this is our page layout, right? So on this page layout, I can have multiple fields. Can field 1, I can have field 2, I can have field 3, I can n number of fields we can have. But there are limitation for the number of fields, which we discussed earlier in our earlier classes. Like what are the limitation of number of fields, so that we have seen. So different, like you can check the limitation object limits. If you click on this, so how many fields we can have, all that detail you can find out here. So like custom fields, we can have up to 500 on this developer org. But again, based on the different type of sandbox, type of org, you can have a different limitation. So like there are enterprise one that we discuss in our first session. So based on that, we can have a different limitations. This can be increased as well. But again, then we need to pay the Salesforce. You need to contact Salesforce, and they will give you how they can increase it, whether you need to pay something or how. That's all depends on the Salesforce. So basically this is a page layout. So page layout is nothing but it's like a container on which we can we can keep our fields, or we can remove any fields. So how we can access page layout? You simply go on page layout here, and on the classic side, you can simply like in the accounts, you will see the page layout here, page layouts here. Okay. So right now these are the standard page layout which Salesforce provides, like account marketing layout, account sales layout. So when you create this org, you get all this standard layout itself. But again, if you want to create your own layout, page layout, you can create here as well. So on the lightning side, you can simply you can create from here. So you can create on the new, or maybe it could be slow, so I'm just click on this new. Okay, so when you create a page layout, right? So maybe I can give like demo layout. So when you give a name on the page layout, you have to define, basically you're just cloning this, so you can select any of it. So suppose I'm selecting account layout, so it will create same page layout as we have for the account layout, right? So once I save this, okay, this one lightning is today slow, I'm not sure why it is. So here you can see this is basically a same copy of account page layout. If you go to the account page layout, you will see the same thing. So you can go here directly from here. So it will be the same as, you know, this, because we have just copied it, we have just, you know, cloned it, we can say. Okay, so this is our demo layout. And if I want to remove, you know, some fields, so these all the fields like account owner, account name, account number, all that field we can see here, as well as on the related object. So for example, uh, let me cancel this and come to this record. Here we can see related records, related objects like work order, contact, opportunities. Maybe you cannot see work order on your org, but I have enabled it, and we will discuss this as well on the later stage how to do that. But for example, for right now, you can understand these are the related object. Related object are nothing but they are you know, somehow they are connected with the Salesforce, this object. Like account is, this contact is connected with Salesforce, so I can see here. Opportunity is connected with account, so I can see the account opportunity here. So asset, cases, open activities, they are all related with this account object, so we can see all that. So okay, so these are the layout, like all that, the same thing, you know, on the related we can see here, cases, open activities, activity history, all that we can see here. So for example, if I don't want this annual revenue field here, right? I just want to remove this, I can remove this. And facts, for the facts we have written you know, one validation rule, like this must be required one. So as at that time I said there are other ways to make it mandatory. You can simply click on this wrench box, which is properties, we say in Salesforce. If you click on this, right, you will see these two options: facts, one with read only, and second is required. So if I want this field to be read only, right, if I make this read only, so this field only be read only. When you try to edit this object, this will be the read only, you cannot edit any value on that. So we have written one validation rule, so I'm not going to touch anything on this. Rather than I want to take this, for example, I'm taking the rating one. Okay, so right now if you just edit this, and I'm just selecting none, and you save this record, right? Okay, phone number I can, and facts I can give something the same. See, rating I have given none, but the value is getting saved still. So what I will do, I'm just going to save this required. I'm going to make this required and just save this. Okay, save this. You know, so whenever this demo field will be, you know, this, sorry, demo layout, suppose if I'm going to assign on the page layout assignment, they will, this is a very important thing. And right now, okay, so demo, basically whatever fields I have removed here, right, you will not be able to see that on the page. I'm just going to remove few other fields as well. For employee, SIS code, ticker symbol, or industry.
Dinesh, if we remove some field, and if we want by mistake, if we remove something, and if we want to get it back again, how do we get it?
Yes, so all that field which you will remove, you will see here. So on the, you know,
Okay.
this way. So for example, I
Mm-hmm.
have removed right now this industry. You can
Mm-hmm.
see, you can see the,
Okay.
you know, this is facts is already on the page, so this is disabled. right? If I double click on this, you can see a small color comes, right?
Mhm.
So industry, when I click, I have removed it. So for example, if I have removed industry by mistakenly, I can simply drag here. That's it.
Okay.
So is that is so
Okay, you
simple.
can just drag and drop. Okay.
Exactly. And this is for the fields. And for the buttons, if you see here, for example, like add to campaign, clean, these are the standard button which is provided by the Salesforce. And if you want to hide any of it, right, if you
Mhm.
click on the button, uh, you will see all the button here, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to remove any of that button from here, you can simply, you just remove it. That's it, this way,
Okay.
right? And there are custom links, uh, uh, like for the billing, that you can handle. Quick action, so we will discuss this quick action, how to create it.
Mhm.
And mobile and lightning actions, uh, basically these fields are visible on the mobile app. So that also we will discuss the later on. This is the related list. This is very important. For
Mhm.
example, there are a lot of this account is connected with a lot of other objects as well, but we cannot see here. We are able to see only 6 or 7 related list for this object. But you know we have multiple object which is connected with account. So we can simply drag here product request. If I want to see this product request as a related list, I can simply drag here. If I want to see the orders, I can simply drag here, right? If I want to see the files, I can simply drag here. So if you drag here anything, you can see all that on the live one. So for example, right now I'm just taking the account layout which is being used. I'm not using the demo layout right now because I have to cover one more topic which is called record type. So after covering that record type, I will be using the demo layout, right? So because right now what I'm using is I'm using a by the Salesforce standard, we are using account layout. So I will do some changes on that so that I can show you on the live itself. So for example, from here I'm removing this field, employee ownership, and here I want to bring something. Sorry, what is the selected list? For example, I'm bringing orders, then files, then approval history. If you want, you can bring here, and you just save this. So once you save this and you refresh this page, this record, basically this is also called the detail page. So you can see I have removed those field, right?
Yeah.
And those field has been removed from the page layout itself. So and here I can see I have added this files, approval history, orders. I can see all that here. So what is the use of this in a real-time scenario? So in the real-time scenario, basically there will be a different record types, uh, and so for example, I have one called sales team, or we can say, let's take some like I have sales team 1. Then at the same time I have sales team 2, right? So I'll just make it 2, 4. And I have 4 sales team, and maybe this sales team is for Delhi, this is for Pune, this is for Chennai, and this is for Mumbai, right? uh, so I have 4 sales team on a different location, right? So what I want to say is I don't I have, for example, I have 50 fields in my account object, and I want to show different field to this Delhi user. I want to show a different fields to this Pune user and different for Mumbai and Chennai. Maybe not all fields, but maybe a few fields. For example, there are different fields like for the Delhi. Maybe I'm just maybe it may not be a related example, but for example, I have a PM field on the sales on this page layout. I want to show this field. On the Chennai one, I want to show some other field like XYZ. I want this PM field to be displayed only for the Delhi and XYZ field only to be displayed for the Chennai. And this XYZ field should not be displayed for Delhi. This should not be displayed for Pune. This should not be displayed for Mumbai. It should only display for Chennai, right? So this kind of changes. So we can create a page layout, okay, and we can remove, as we have seen what is the page layout. So we can simply whatever the fields this Delhi region one, I can assign those fields to this particular page layout. So basically we may have to create a page layout, right, which is called I can give it a name called Delhi page layout. And on this page layout, we can give all those field which Delhi team should see. And this I can create for Pune, and same as for the Chennai and same for the Mumbai, right? But again, so when a user, practically when user comes, right? So suppose for example I'm a user and I belongs to Mumbai. Then if I belongs to Mumbai, I should see only page layout which has been assigned to Mumbai. I should not see for the Chennai. I should not see for the Delhi, right? I should only see for the Mumbai one. So for that, what I can do, there is a concept called record type, right? So record type, based on the record type, we can display page layout. So I will create a 4-page layout called Delhi page layout, Pune page layout, Chennai page layout, and Mumbai page layout. And I will assign fields which are required for the Delhi, and I will just put the fields which is required for the Pune and the same for other two regions. So for that, I will create a record type. So for example, I can create a Delhi record type, right? We'll just create a Delhi record type. And for the other same thing, okay. So I can create a record type, and those based on the record type, I can assign this page layout. So and based on the profile, right? Based on the profile. So I will discuss the profile later on, but right now, let's not more discuss on that. So based on the record type, based on this Mumbai record type, I can see this page layout. So any user, right? Any user who is from Mumbai, right? Who is from Mumbai, he can only see this record type, Mumbai record type. So once he click on that Mumbai record type, he will be landed to this Mumbai page layout automatically by the system. Right? So if I'm from Mumbai, I will I will select this Mumbai record type, or else I can, as an admin. So as an admin, you can set like this user who is from the Mumbai, he should only see Mumbai record type. So we can set that. Or else what I can do, I can create this 4-page layout, record type, and I can show the user, login user, and they can see all this record type, Delhi layout, Pune and Chennai and Mumbai. And they can click on the Delhi record type. Once they click on that, they can see the Delhi page layout. And once they click on this record type, they will see the related Pune page layout. So let's see this, maybe this could be a bit confusing, but let's see on the practical side. So once I'm here, okay. So I'm on the account page. Let's go on the Lightning. Here you can see record types, right? So once you click on this record type, okay, let's try here on the classic side. Lightning is slow. Okay, so you can click on the record type, and you can you can create a record type. So for example, I'm going to take the same thing, Delhi record type, and here description you can see only for Delhi. Okay, here for all the profiles which it has to be assigned. So let's leave this for now because I will discuss in depth for the profile later on. So basically, just for a quick update, like profile is basically a permissions. Every user in the system will have a profile, and profile is nothing but a permissions. What are the permissions they have in that org? So for every profile, these are the standard profile we have right now. So I'm assigning this record type for all this record, all these profiles. If I remove from here, and if I want to give it for the few for system admin, so this profile will only this record type will only be visible for this system admin. If you log in with the read only profile, if you are assigned with some other profile, you will not be able to see this record type. Okay, so right now let me enable for all, and let me click next. Okay, so right now I'm just selecting the demo layout and save this. Okay, now if you go to account object, and if you click on new, right? So okay, let me create okay, let me go on the record type. I have this one record type. Okay, so right now we have standard record types which are master, and then the Delhi one which I have created. So if you want to create more record type, you can simply go on the same way and you can create it. And here this is basically a very important topic to understand, a very important thing. So maybe I'll take a different session to explain this more, like how to assign one record type, right? How to understand this page layout assignment basically. So like for every profile here, based on the record type, every profile can have a different layout. For example, I can have a record type Delhi record type, but if my profile is something else, right, I can assign to that a different layout. If I click on this edit assignment, right, I can select for example, for this authenticated website, this is a profile. If I want to give account layout, simply you can change here, right? So this is just I'm giving you overview. If you have a confusion, don't worry, I will give you a different session on detail on this, how to do that.
Yeah, I think I'll have to practice, as well as probably we'll need more detailed session, because I'm getting a bit jumbled. Yeah.
Yes, I can understand that, because this is actually uh, before I'm just giving you overview so that you can understand what is
Yeah.
record type. But in our next session I will discuss first profile, right?
Okay.
Profile and all, so you will understand what is profile and how profile is, how which profile can see which record type, and uh, which layout they can see. So this assignment is bit tricky, maybe people like you like who don't have experience, so this could be a bit tricky to understand. But that is the reason I will be taking a different session on this, so you can understand very easily, and it's a very important actually concept. So in real time when you will go for any project, right, So this will be very important, like which profile should see which layout. So I may have access to this record type. So this record type can have access to many profiles, but they should have a different layout. Like I'm a system admin, I must see a different layout, even though I have access to this record type. Read only profile should see a different layout, even though they have access to this daily record type. So this we will discuss in the next sessions after discussing about the profile.